Okay, I had the GameCube editions of Metroid Prime 1 and 2 strategy guides, but I sold them off. And I also had the Wii version of Metroid Prime, the Corruption, but then I sold it off for this, which pretty much has all three of those guides into one. The first two games are kind of almost glossed over, but it still gives you the full 100% walkthrough to get all the items for that. It spends more time, and it's almost copied and pasted for the Corruption from the original Wii guide. So kind of a disappointment that, but it's still a pretty solid game guide. It's more text than actual show, and instead of the show portion, it just kind of just jams it all at the back of the book with, you know, just maps of the area. So not entirely effective as a guide, but what are you gonna do? Ah, yes. I needed it to get to 100%. That's all I'm gonna say. Skyward Sword. Almost every Zelda game I played, I kind of need to get the game guide so I can find 100%. So whenever I go play the Zelda game, at least until I got it memorized in my noggin where everything is, I kind of use the guide religiously until I've got the whole game memorized 100%, and then I usually just don't use these anymore after that. And this was back when I was all about the custom editions. This is the custom edition of the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess guide. Yes, this is the hardback edition, and this was very well detailed. I mean, this is like beyond what you would expect from a guide. It just goes way in depth. And not to mention, it actually comes topped off with a very nice... Am I holding it right? No, I'm not. A very nice cloth map. And that came included with the game guide. Now, did I actually use the map? No, it's more of just like a novelty than anything else. But it was still just a nice inclusion in this package here. So, there are all my Wii game guides. So, moving a little further back, we are now going to go to PlayStation 2. And the guides I have. Chrono Cross. I tell you, if you don't have this game guide when you're playing Chrono Cross, I don't understand how you can even figure out how to get anything in this game. Be it characters to join your party, special items that you need to even complete the game, just completing the game in general. It's like the game was meant to have this game guide be read alongside it while you were playing. There's just no way I could figure out if anyone can actually figure this game out on their own and beat it on their own without some sort of help from this guide or online sources. So this is essential in my opinion. Okay. Technically I didn't really need this guide, but I kind of wanted it just for some strategies and how to build my characters and stuff. Beyond that, I actually haven't used this guide very much for The Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. Fun game, very strategic in all of its battles, and I really liked that aspect of it. This guide didn't really expound too much on my experience of the game, so, you know, it's arguable if it's really worth the effort in getting this guide. One of my favorites. Tales of the Abyss. To get those side quests that will be lost forever, this is a must. Must, must, must. Especially some of the quests that involve Jade here. That is his name, right? Jade Curtis? Yes. There's quite a few story running side quests that runs through the whole game, that if you miss just one, the whole quest line is sealed off forever until you restart the game. But I really like this guide. I mean, it really has a lot of maps and stuff like that, and some call-outs, and it even tells you, you know, what items you can find, monsters you can find, and just objectives you have in the local area. So, very well thought out guide, and nicely done. Dark Cloud 2. I'll admit, I have not played this game, not a single minute. I bought this guide along with the game, used. That's why it's got some frayed right here. But I bought this guide used, and the game new. Go figure. And when I do play this for my channel, I'm going to play it completely blind, and if I'm stuck, I'll use this. But for the most part, I'm going to try and not do that for for my playthrough and just kind of see if I can get all the way to the end on one go without any extra help. So disappointed. It has the bare minimum of what you need to get through the game. The bare minimum. But if you want to get 100% in this game, it has nothing. It tells you to go to play online, which is defunct now, by the way. So all those extra cool tips and tricks they would give you if you went to play online is now forever lost unless you printed that stuff out. I mean, look at this. Battle tactics. It's like 3 lines worth of text, and then the rest you got to figure out. It's terrible. On the bright side, I was smart enough. If I can. Oh, come on! Don't do this to me. Ah. There we go. I was smart enough to print out all of the data from PlayStation Online and keep it with the guide. So I can get 100%. And I caught this cool little map of chocographs, cracks, and diving spots. Everything laid out for you. So, yeah, I will not have any want for getting 100% in Final Fantasy IX because I printed out all that play online crap. Totally not worth it. Go to GameFAQs.com. It'll probably be more beneficial to you. I bought this game guide used, which is unfortunate because it's like falling apart on me. The binding is just like completely just out of... Look, this page is even coming out right now. I gotta be careful with this one. But yes, Dragon Quest VIII. This is actually the very first Dragon Quest game I ever played. I've only been through it once, and then I went back here and to see if I can get 100%. This guide is kind of awkward in a way. It wants you to find everything, but in the end it doesn't want to spoil anything for you either. So it doesn't give you a lot of time with some of the bosses and things like that. It just kind of just say, hey, there's a boss here, good luck. That's pretty much all it tells you. No strategies, nothing. And on the whole, this wasn't too beneficial to my overall playthrough of Dragon Quest VIII. So if I had to redo it over again, I'd probably say pass. Moving on. Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII, Vincent. I've only looked through this once. I've only played the game through once. I don't see how well this could have enhanced my experience if I was playing alongside it. It seems to be, most of it's been like tailored to how to get the S ranking in all the levels, more than anything else. The actual descriptions as you go through the stage, as it's describing how you get through areas, very unclear, especially if you haven't played it or you've only gone through the area once. It's very unclear how to get places, so I'm a little hesitant to recommend this at all. Excellent guide. Final Fantasy X. I'm pretty sure almost anyone who's gotten PlayStation 2 has got this guide, for sure. And so you all know what I'm talking about. This is invaluable, especially if you're going for, you know, the ultimate monsters, how to capture, you know, all the mixing for Riku and things like that, her little alchemy section. So awesome. Okay, a lot of people don't give this game a lot of credit, and I will admit it is a very strange game. Yes, this is essential. This guide, if you want to have everything the game has to offer you, it is essential. It's crucial. You need it for everything. If you want that 100%, get that best ending with Titus, you're going to need to use this game guide. So, it goes through pretty meticulously every single section of the game, and it even has a little section at the back here, how to get those 100% points, what you need to do every step of the way. And then my last one, for PlayStation 2, the big epic tomb of Final Fantasy XII. Honestly, I don't see how you could find anything in this game without some sort of guide. I mean, there's just things that are just totally off the beaten path, totally unintuitive, and trying to figure out how to find, beat, just acquire. I mean, some of the some of the optional summons are just a pain in the butt to try and figure out where they are and how to get access to them just to even fight them, let alone beat them. But it's got quite an exhaustive appendices section though, so that's actually a good thing. Very epic tomb. And I also printed out alongside it, this is actually a side thing, I didn't actually, but I have every single rare monster printout and where to find them, and including the map section, where to find them in that specific part of the map. And then of course, I don't know if you can see that or not, but the crystal maze where you find Ultima. I got the overall map of it, because, you know, if anybody's played this game, you can get severely lost in there, and it's annoying. And that's all my PlayStation 2 guides. So, moving further back in time, we have GameCube guides. Four Swords Adventures. Did I really need this guide? Probably not. But some of these puzzles are very diabolical, and I don't think I've actually would have figured them out on my own if it were not for this guide. And despite the fact that it, nope, it does it. Yep, it has maps with number callouts, and then the number callouts have descriptions of what to do over here. So this is actually laid out very well. So excellent guide, despite the fact I've never beaten this game. How far did I get? Hold on, I can actually probably find you exactly how far I got. Right here, Frozen Hyrule. This is the farthest I've ever gotten in the game, and I've restarted it 5 times, and I've never beaten the game. I eventually need to get around to that. I should probably make a play series. Alright. Alchemy! Do you want 100%? This is the guide for you. It shows you pretty much everything. If there was one thing this guide was lacking, if I can recall, because the last time I used this was a long time ago, like 5+ years ago, was that it didn't point you in the direction of all the sun fragments. I think there was 2 sun that this guide did not cover, and I actually had to find them on my own. So, yeah. Final Fantasy Crystal Bearers. This is actually a very interesting guidebook. It goes into a lot of detail. I mean a lot of detail with regards to finding all the medals and things like that, and just getting through all the sections of the game pretty easily. But in terms of getting 100%, it's kind of hard to read some of the maps. Can you make sense of those maps? Because I can't. I mean, some of the areas I can recognize. Once it gets into some of the weird areas like Cherry Point and everything, like this big square box right here, it starts getting kind of hazy, trying to figure out what the heck I'm looking at there. Either way, still decent guide. Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World. This one, I actually probably could have gone without. Yeah, there's quite a lot of quests that can be lost forever, and unless you know about them. It's unfortunate this guide doesn't actually detail that at all. This guide actually skips a bunch of quests that are in the game that it can be lost forever. And one of them is this huge Richter side quest. So, I went online and I printed this out as a companion to the game guide. So it gets you that whole Richter side quest, where he goes into your party for a little ways midway through the game. And then, of course, I printed out all the trees, all the evolution trees for every single monster that you can get in the game, and what paths they can take when you develop them. So, it's a companion printout to the guide. Ah, yes. This guide is awesome and yet flawed in so many ways. Skies of Arcadia Legends. The proofreader did not really check the data accuracy for all their stuff, including, you know, the discoveries. There's some discovery inaccuracies on how to get some of them. I mean, I had to go online to actually get the proper instructions on how to figure out how to get some of these discoveries. It's ridiculous. I mean, in terms of just getting through the overall story of the game, this guidebook's pretty good. But in terms of just getting everything the game has to offer, this guidebook should have been proofread a lot more times. So, overall, a good thing to have in your collection, but It's not the best. I don't know why I bought this. I thought I'd need it. Fun game. It really is. It's just... there's not much to the guide. It's just telling you how to get through the level and maybe getting a couple extra bonuses here and there as you get through the level, and maybe some strategies for the bosses. But for the most part, I don't think I really needed this guide at all. So, why does it exist?